Bobby Green.
Mm,
Bobby Green steps in on about
interesting.
a 2-week notice and faces Islam Benil. I guess he broke his ankle or something happened in
Broke his
practice.
femur. Yeah, broke his femur.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
like that's like a legit injury because yeah, like obviously internet people are gonna internet and they're just like, oh, he pulled out, but broken femur, my guy, that is about as a legitimate excuse as you can possibly get for pulling out of a fight. I broke my leg. You're out. Have a rest.
Yeah,
You're out, my
like if
friend.
you fought with a broken leg,
You can't.
that's
You
just.
can't. You can't pass. You couldn't. You can't physically pass the medical.
What do you think of Bobby Green, man? Bobby Green, this dude, he's doing, shit that you've done in the past. You know what I mean? Just like taking, the big fights, stepping in when really nobody wants to step in, and he's doing it with this fight. And does it make a difference, do you think, that they're fighting at 160? Do you feel like that is gonna make a
Um.
huge difference?
Yeah, that's a weird weight. It's like only 4 pounds off. I
Yeah.
wonder. Bobby Green must have ate plenty of burgers after this fight. I'm just excited for the fight. Like, I don't even want to get into like, "Ooh, this guy's going to do this or this guy's going to like." I'm actually genuinely just excited for the fight. Like Bobby Green's movement is so unorthodox. Like having his head movement, fighting off his hands so low, switching stances. He is like a pretty difficult guy to um get down. But I'm just yeah, I'm happy to see like Bobby Green in a main event. Like that's what I wanted to see after his last couple of performances. Even his fight against Rafael Fiziev, I was like, I would love to see Bobby Green in a main event. And then after the LA Quinton knockout, he gets another big win. And I'm just excited to see him go out there and shine and be in a position which he's definitely deserved from the hard work he's put in throughout his career.
Yeah, he does deserve it, man. He comes from the Strike Force days, man. Strike Force days.
Mm.
People don't understand how like that, how respectful, how much respect you have to pay to certain fighters that have come from Strike Force, because that's a long ways ago. You know what I mean? A lot of the guys from Strike Force are not around anymore. Like DC, he's retired. Luke Rockhold, he's retired. I mean, a lot of guys. So him still being around, and he's fought the who's who throughout his career, man. And and his style, man. Talk about his style, like the hands down low. You know what I mean? Like it's very unique. You don't really see many guys fighting like Bobby Green.
Yeah, you don't see any. Bowie Green is a pretty one of a kind um fighter. Like he's like a true martial artist. He brings his genuine own style. He's evolve like once you understand the rules is when you can break the rules. It's like don't walk into a gym and then on your first day like put your hands down and try to fight like Bobby Green, switching stance and having your hands at your hips. You will get your head kicked in. Like I'm sure for a long stretch of his career, like he fought traditionally with his hands up and that. And then once he mastered the fundamentals of that and understood range and understood defense and head movement and things like that, now he's able to break the rules and change the rules because he understands. He understands the rules. He's not just going out there and taking wild risks or anything like that. He's just a fighter with Man, it takes incredibly sharp eyes to fight like that and incredibly well-drilled reactions. And his style has obviously taken him decades to work on and decades to iron out the kinks and to master. And I feel like recently he's really just finding success with everything in his game and it's all kind of coming together at the right time.
Yeah, and it's not like he's had continued success with this style. You know what I mean? Like he's been like clipped many times. He's been knocked out. You know what I mean? It's not like like it's just something that he's been doing for so long that we've just been at all with. I mean, it's just recently he's just kind of mastered it in a way where he's just performing really well and competing at the highest level at the same time. With the Yeah, Bobby Green, man, he's just I feel like a lot of people are hopping on Bobby Green train right now, because he's stepping in on short notice against Islam, a guy that's, right there on the verge of a title. And if Bobby Green wins, what does that do? You know what I mean? That just shakes everything up, right?
Yeah, like he's in the mix. Bobby Green, that'll put him on a 3-fight win streak, and now he's in title contention. That's just the way. That's the risk versus reward nature of our sport. Is that the winner gets the spoils, or the winner gets the prize, and the prize on offer is putting yourself in title contention and throwing your name in the hat. So yeah, without a doubt, Bobby Green gets the job done. He's one of less than a handful of people that are positioning themselves for a title shot.
Because I'm pretty sure they probably asked a list of people before they got to Bobby Green, right? I don't think Bobby Green was like on the top of the list of as a replacement. Because if you look at the
Yeah, well,
top,
like I'm sure that they would have loved a ranked opponent, and
Mhm.
you can go through the list of ranked opponents. Um, you can jot down the list of ranked guys that don't have a fight right now. I guarantee you that every single one of them was asked if they wanted to fight Islam, and there's a reason Bobby Green took the fight because none of those other guys stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, if you look at it, Ferguson's not booked yet. Gregor Gillespie's not booked yet. Um, Poirier's not booked. Chandler's not booked, and all those guys are in the top 10. McGregor's in the top 10, but
Yeah, you can
he's
understand like the bigger name guys like not being interested in that fight. Like that is not it's all risk versus reward, of course.
Mhm.
Like, but to take on a guy like Islam on 1 or 2 weeks' notice is a pretty tough call, and a guy like Poirier or Chandler or Tony Ferguson like wouldn't even be expected to make that kind of jump or that kind of sacrifice just because the risk is not worth the reward for a guy with a name like guys with names like that. Like the risk is just the reward's not there for a fighter like Dustin Poirier to take on Islam on 2 weeks notice. It just doesn't make any sense for him. But a guy like Bobby Green, like he has the world, um, he has the world to gain from a fight like this.
And the hands down low, right? That style. It allow you to defend takedowns better? Is that true? Do you think when you break it down?
Yeah, yeah, I would say you would if your hands like because obviously if I want to get in on your hips or get in on your legs, your arms are already there and already in the way and already down low. Like you can watch anyone wrestle at a collegiate level or something like that. Like
Mhm.
their hands are low, defending their legs and defending their hips. So if your hands are already there, it's going to make it far more difficult for a fighter to get on your hips and get on your legs. So it definitely has its benefits. Obviously, the takeaways from that kind of style is your
Mhm.
hands are busy defending takedowns and not busy defending your head, which makes you a whole lot more susceptible to getting punched. But because Bobby Green's understanding of distance and his understanding of head movement and timing is so well versed that he can avoid a lot of those difficult situations.
We saw it in the Habib and Conor McGregor fight where Habib was attacking so much that when he went for the fake to go for the takedown, he came over with that overhand and clipped and dropped
Mm-mm-mm.
Connor, right, with that punch. And
Yeah.
that's a possibility for Islam, right, where he could kind of give him, that look, the takedowns, and then come over the top and hit Bobby Green with something hard, right? Because he has knocked out people in the past, Islam.
Yeah, like he's knocked out people with that exact same setup. I think it was Gleason Tibau thought he was coming in for a takedown and he
Mhm.
came in with the overhand. Like that's just classic setups for these guys. you're so worried about the takedown that the hands drop low and they can come over the top with punches. That's always a threat, but sitting here and saying what way the cat's gonna go when you let him out of the bag is a very difficult is a very difficult thing to call.
When you fought Islam, and you felt him, like was he like stronger than most of your opponents that you've felt in grappling exchanges, or did you just feel the same as anybody else?
Um, as a fighter, it's like I look at it more as like my mistakes as opposed to
Mhm.
like, yeah, it wasn't like he was on top of me and I was like, wow, like this is it's nothing like that. Like
Yeah.
in reflection, it's all my mistakes which led to the outcome like that. Less to do with anyone else like forcing you to do something, more to do with you making your own mistakes.
Mm. All right. Yeah, I'm so interested in this fight, man, because in a way, like I don't try to root for fighters too much, but I'm kind of rooting for Bobby Green. You know what I mean? Like he's just become this guy that, this character. He's always been the character. It's just like he's getting more attention now, and I'm happy for that. You know what I mean? And but I don't see Islam playing around with Bobby Green. I feel Islam's going to go in there and try to get the win as quick as possible. He's going to try to take it to the ground and do what he does. I feel like that is what Islam's going to do. He's like a robot in that way. You know what I mean? Like he's just like, all right, let me go in there and systematically break down my opponent and show everybody that I deserve this title shot, this next title shot. Because right now, Islam, that's all he needs to do is win this fight, right? He doesn't need to finish the fight. He doesn't need to look fancy. He just needs to win, right? So that's what he's probably going to end up doing. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's a dangerous fight. I think I feel like that aspect of it's being overlooked. And yeah, it's like people are saying like big ups to Bobby Green for taking the fight, and which I'm on board with as well. Like big ups to him on such short notice. I hope he's getting paid um, what I got paid. I hope he's getting. I pray and I hope that he's getting taken care of by the UFC, and I'm sure he is. But yeah, like massive respect to Islam for taking this fight as well. Uh, it's a dangerous opponent on a hot streak at a catch weight on 2 weeks' notice. Like Islam has to take this very seriously, and I'm sure he is. But it's a dangerous fight. Bobby Green's no easy beat, and Islam, I feel, doesn't have too much to gain from it. That's where the danger lies in this fight. Is everyone's expecting Islam to win, and when everyone's expecting you to not only win, but they're expecting you to win in a very dominant fashion, that also puts a lot of pressure on a fighter. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure leading into it, and like the mix of all of those things is what makes this such an exciting fight. Like the short notice, catch weight, all of the pressures on Islam. Bobby's chill, he was relaxed, and that's when he does his best work and performs his best. So that's why I say I'm so excited for this fight.
Thank you guys for watching the video to the end. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we're putting out. We got a lot of things in the works, so please stay tuned.